Let's kick it old school!
Yeah!
Old school essentials. The further adventures of the Thunderous Fury.
All right, it is Old School Essentials, the further adventures of the Thunderous Fury, session 58. Time for the recap.
Start out last episode, we go back, we caught up with Karn, who's actually not in jail. Well, okay, the door is shut and locked and guarded, but it's a nice place. It's probably nicer than any cell of Cuthbert that Karn has ever been in. So he's a little, shall we say, confused about that until M4 Runeborn of Eastenor shows up and gives him a polite visit and sets up a privacy field so that they could actually talk without being overheard. It turns out the MCOR is really upset with the ongoing religious problems, especially from the Cuthbertite that we left previously. Apparently, he's causing all sorts of fun, and is offering to release Karn and have him talk to Brother
Josiah.
Calm him down, with promise that they will actually set up a religious freedom area so that those who want to worship different places can. There was also this big discussion based on the map, the tapestry, I guess. No, woven map, sorry, from Bishop Taffy, that apparently depicted Cuthbert as an ape of all things.
Heresy.
So, heresy, yep. So Karn had some stuff to think about. He wasn't too sure about the ape stuff, but it did come from Bishop Taffy, who he trusted. But, he was, Josiah. He was relatively sure that, he didn't want Josiah to accidentally perish from just because he thought Karn was dead and, go after the Empire. So he's thinking about it. It sounds like a good deal for everybody. In any case, we cut back to the more crazy/chaotic members of things. And we are talking to the guy who supposedly has the crystal, who initially denies it, but pretty quickly, not only is it obvious, but he just stops denying it, and we check it out. So, of course, the presence of the crystal has caused the usual nightmare show of things scuttling in the corners, strange moss dripping black goo over the guy's bed, rotting houses, rotting mines, because the guy refers to a bunch of barely nailed together pieces of wood as his animals. And as we poke around a bit, and he solicits a little bit of money from us, and we decide it's probably the easiest way to get him to fork it over. So sure enough, we hand him a bit of money, except of course Basil Wilberforce, when everybody else is out of the room, finds the safe, pops it, and steals the land deed. So technically, Basil Wilberforce, and a special vase that was there. So technically, Basil Wilberforce is way ahead on the money versus value thing. Well, we managed to scavenge up 3 crowbars and 3 different characters, heave ho and pop the top off, only to jump back as the, of course, nasty gas that's been building up escapes and tries to do something nasty to everybody. And we look down and discover that the whole thing was going to go pretty soon anyway. The lead is pitted. There is a strange unnatural darkness in the bottom of the place, and as the sunlight hits the stuff inside the well, it starts to crumble and turn to dust. Devil, who is apparently suicidally brave, decides to go down and try to pick up the crystal, and just barely manages to get out ahead of something lunging out of the wall at him. Fortunately, the something doesn't want to come up and face the sunlight, so Hamel survives to die another day probably. In any case, we set up the grabber with a real jury rig craziness, but it more or less works. and we managed to drag the crystal out and double bag it, and are on the way out when a couple of guys come out to check on their neighbor. And they seem like nice guys. They're worried about him. And Basil Wilberforce and Basil Essex talks about picking up a tankard for him and goes out towards the shops. In any case, as we are going by a place called Max's Tailor and Leather Shop, Max comes out and asks if Zofan is okay and offers to let Zofan test out his wonderful new padded helmet invention, which should prevent the third concussion. We'll see about that one. We decided that, just wrapping the crystal up in, leather and cloth is probably a good idea. Go to a general store and actually manage to find a lead chalice to put it in. So at least we aren't dying by hauling the thing around. Well, at least if we don't haul it around to do it too long. In any case, we have a big debate about what to do. We decided to basically go to the mausoleum and toss it in if we can. We get to the bridge and see it's guarded by apes, and maybe we don't like that. There is a path under the bridge for those who are looking for more of a scenic route, and of course that's us. We go down to the scenic route, and Bertram along the way suggests he can help because he apparently knows a captain with a liberal sense of money versus legality. So we slip him and the captain a little money and manage to make it across on the boat instead of trying to go to the bridge. We go up to the Grand Mausoleum and see that it is far too well guarded for us to likely get in, more than one or two of us, that is, because it's got cards, it's got special enchantments on the front that apparently see into the heart of you, which, would get a bunch of this group smited, let me tell you. Basil Wilberforce decides he can make it over and does indeed make it over. We try to distract the guards so we can toss the crystal over. And that more or less works because, as part of that distraction, Hamill decides he wants to climb the fence in broad daylight in front of all the guards. Fortunately, we convinced the guard that he's a crazy bastard.
And drunk. And a drunken bastard as well.
And managed to talk them down. So, as it were, we leave the crystal in the mausoleum grounds, but not actually physically in the mausoleum. And the rest of us hauling out and sailing on with our friendly captain to the industrial district where we find another safe house and take a rest.
Did you mention that the philosophers, the guy, he's supposed to be coming tomorrow? You mentioned that, right?
Oh yeah. Well, no, I didn't mention it this time, but that's been the general plan. So who knows how long it will take the trip to boil over.
How long has it been since that guy came to visit Karn? Was that on the same day that they were setting up the undead?
No. You're not sure exactly when that happened because, when you got there. I mean, you've been there, you were probably there, you would guess like at least a day or so. I'll also say at one point during that time, someone does come in, Karn, and they give you like a haircut and a bath and kind of clean you up because they said they anticipate that you'll have some meeting and they want you to look, presentable for whomever you're going to meet. And the
Clean them up for the execution.
Uh-oh.
And the person who is doing that is an elven man who does all the work. One point of order. I will say for Felix, I don't think you have your armor anymore. Either you ditched it at the safe house when you guys ran out, or you threw it when you were running. So just to be fair, I don't think you would have your armor. Just you can't wear it, but just be mindful that at some point you will need some armor. It'd probably be helpful.
Yeah, I think the last place was at the safe house.
Okay.
I had it, and because I can't currently wear it.
Well, because you were carrying at one point to obscure your face so people wouldn't notice who you were. And I figured when they had the chase scene, it was probably gone.
Yeah.
But
you remind me, how long I have left on that stipulation.
Yeah, you still got some time on that. Clintock and Felix.
Yes.
You were at Nufus's house and you saw this whole transaction, and you ended up in the, I believe, Market District. And at one point, a hooded figure came, mysterious hooded figure, took you to talk to Solamor. So you were supposed to talk to Solamor at one point because he's the philosopher that speaks openly against the Ape Empire.
Yeah.
And you want him, at least the plan that I last heard was he was supposed to show up and say how he was going to support the Ape Empire.
Yeah, it's a little more complicated than that, but yeah.
Right. So I would assume. So they take you from the Market District into the upper class district. You're walking, you and Felix, Clintock and Felix, and this hooded figure. The guy says that he spoke. Somebody spoke to Solamor. He was not very inclined to do whatever you're asking, and this is to help explain. Maybe you'd be a little bit more persuasive, or try to explain your point to him. And you go kind of through. It's a gated community. So you go through a gate. They're not ape gates. Ape soldiers. They're just human soldiers that he kind of passes by. You would guess that this guy, the person who's leading you around, either knows the guards, or something has gone some sort of transaction has happened, because they don't seem to bother you at all.
The hooded figure that's escorting us around appears to be normal human size.
Yeah, he's just human. He's just kind of obscuring his face. He doesn't.
Yeah.
You don't sense anything off from him. He's just, not trying to be seen. And these houses are really nice. This would be the elite class in Clinkville, but you're at the Ape Empire, so this is just the upper class. These are like 3-story colonial like houses, and manicured yards, and walkways, and plush gardens. And he kind of walks up to the door and rings the door knocker, which is like this ornamental brass dragon that he knocks on, and opens the door, and a short halfling in a butler's outfit answers the door and says, "Can I help you?"
I believe a certain philosopher is waiting to speak.
One moment, sir. And you hear from the back, I'm out now. I'm busy. And then the butler looks at you and says, "Come right in." And he opens the door for you, and there's a nice foyer area. And he walks over and grabs these strips of leather, and he says, "Please place your boots on these."
Oh yes.
And he
takes off
puts
his
them on
shoes.
and ties them, to cover your muddy feet before you walk through the house.
I take off my cloak and hand it to him, and hang this up while you're out.
Oh yes, I will. And he hangs it, and there's like a little crank that he goes, and it hangs the cloak up so it doesn't hang on the floor. And you hear some grumbling in like the back room. And you walk through the first room. There is a wood parquet floor with it looks like the picture of the world, like the Canard. It's just a huge map.
Yeah.
And there's, like a compass in the middle that's probably some expensive gem. And there's a huge chandelier with a beautiful maple dining table that is prepared for probably like 20 people. And he leads you through that room and opens 2 doors to a room that's full of books and a table. And you see a human man there, and he is just like, he's got like stacks of books that he's kind of looking at. And he looks up and he says, What's the meaning of this? I told you I was busy." And he said, "Yes, Lord. Yes, of course you were." And he walks out the room.
Is this butler's name Jeffrey? Yes.
I've heard you've turned down my speaking engagement.
Oh, you're with Martellus's group. You see that he's balding. He's got kind of he's clean cut, he's got some nice clothes on. He says, "Yes, Martellus. I'm not sure. He mentioned to me something about giving a speech
Right. Yeah.
about against the empire in some in jest. I don't even find this amusing."
Well, just tell me, when you normally have a speaking engagement,
Yes.
how many people show up?
I don't concern myself with the size of the attendees. I concern myself with the size of the purse that I've been given to make such speeches.
Are you not concerned about your influence?
Influence? Plenty of influence.
I look around, and the Ape Empire still looks like it's doing well.
It does. It does. Revolutions take time.
They do, but certain events can accelerate them.
Yes, but we don't want to be rash in our choices.
Oh, no. We are not being rash. In fact, my proposal is the least from rash. When you go to speak, people don't show up because they don't care about your words, right?
They
The
may not.
general
Yes, yes. When I was a younger man, I cared about these things. But continue.
But if you showed up to speak and said you were going to recant everything that you've spoken for the last, well, I don't know, 2 to 3 decades, maybe only a decade or two. You look rather young.
I appreciate that. It's been about 4 decades, yes. But continue.
But the number of people that will show up when you say that you've been wrong all this time, that really the Ape Empire is doing what's best for everyone. Now, I'm not asking you to actually say these words. What I'm asking you to do is show up because somebody else will be attempting to be an imposter, and you'll be taking a stand against that imposter. And when you take that stage to take that stand, then people will listen because they'll show up for the person that they think is a rabble rouser that's going to recant their word, that's going to take back all of their ill said things. And probably a lot of the Ape Empire's guards and the elite will show up to bask in your groveling, so to speak. But you won't be there to do that. Instead, you'll be there to show that the Ape Empire thinks so strongly that your words are true that they've hired an imposter to make your words nothing. But instead, you will be there and you will get to take the stage and you will be heard.
This is quite a gambit you are proposing.
It is not one of swords and cannons.
No. I learned that a long time ago. And he looks over at Felix and says, "Yeah, that's a lesson hopefully he shall learn."
Quiet your tongue.
Well,
don't mind him. He's just upset about his last electrocution.
yes.
Don't let only my words persuade you. I can guarantee you a heavy coin purse.
Now you've gotten my ear.
Well, certainly you like a taste of the finer things.
Yes.
And given your state and your estate,
Yes.
I suspect you know how to exchange goods as necessary without upsetting things. So I think these will probably find their place. Well, he slides over what is worth 30 gold pieces of silver and says, I think you can put these to good use, better use than I could.
Where'd you get the silver?
Oh, I think it's best not to ask these questions. You, as all people, should know this kind of.
Is this Karn? Was this Karn silver?
It is some of it that like he split with us. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it is the silver.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I thought
yeah,
he was
yeah.
asking. I thought that was the guy who was asking because
No, no.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I was like, oh,
So
which would also make sense.
he has a look on his face that's kind of like what are you going to actually offer me that like you don't have the money, but as soon as you as soon as you hand over those silver coins and
I mean,
he
he
looks
probably
at
would have
them,
done it for 5 or 10.
he looks at those silver coins and he's like, oh,
Guy's got connections.
you do believe in the revolution.
Oh, I hate this guy. I truly hate this guy.
He puts his money where his mouth is.
I
Well-
believe in any revolution that lines my pockets, and if it helps the people, and most certainly if it doesn't help the apes, I am for it.
Well, obviously Martellus should have led with you instead of him showing up. But yes, I was a bit concerned when I heard this proposal, but now that you put it in proper perspective, it makes sense. Of course, you see just the word or the notion that I have recanted or said things that against the views, anything that shows that I have turning back what I have believed in, as he puts puts his hand on these books, these stacks of books, which you realize are all the same.
One copy, like several copies of the same book.
Yes.
Oh, could I have one of those autographed when I leave?
You absolutely can. And to whom I am signing this for?
The soulless. Oh, sorry.
No. To the Imker's emissary.
Oh. Oh, yes, I like your style very much. Yes, as you can see that I have a certain reputation that has to be withheld, and anything damaging said reputation could cause, shall we say, a disturbance in the flow of funds that come into my hands. But the way you've put it, and I think we can come to some agreement. Now, when is this occurring exactly? I heard it's tomorrow.
Yes, we have made in general plans for this to occur tomorrow.
Okay, you do understand it is rest in prayer, and if you're not familiar with it, the apes have their traditional service at sunrise. It is only apes, and then around when the sun is at its highest, it's their second service, which they will invite other members of society into. Then they have their service at sunset, and then there is one in the evening. Usually most of non-apes are allowed to go, so probably sometime when one of these services is not occurring would be your best bet. Or if you plan on the apes being distracted, maybe that's what your plan is.
Oh, I mean, I would want them to be in attendance as much as anyone else. But I would also prefer that not only the apes are in attendance, so probably post the service where all are invited to join. And the apes are still expected to attend.
I have a few engagements tomorrow, but I will move them to the side and take care of things that need to be taken care of. And what time is this being held at the lecture hall?
Oh, yes, of course.
And what is my attire to? What am I going to be wearing? I mean, you don't. Is there any chance of, say, violence or some sort of Donnybrook breaking out?
No. I doubt there will be violence.
Okay.
You doubt.
I suspect I was like your friend here, as he points over to Felix. It took me 5 minutes to realize that was not the way of the revolution. As he like pulls up his shirt and you can see a scar that goes like down his chest.
Oh, wow.
Yes, about lost my own member to my own sword. So
No.
realized that was not for me.
Your own sword. Huh.
Yes, I am not swift with a blade. But it's all here, as he taps these books in here, my story.
Felix goes, While you have learned the pen, I have learned the blade.
Oh my god.
Very well. Should you want me to autograph one of these books for your friend as well?
No.
Okay.
If you'd like to give it to me for wiping paper, I would accept.
Sounds like after sunset, I will make my way to the lecture hall. Who is this imposter that I at least should be aware of? Is he going to be obvious to find?
Oh, he will be there, posing as you.
Yes.
So,
So does he need some clothes or something?
Oh, do you have a set of clothes of yours that I could
Yeah,
borrow?
some cast-offs that I can do with that. I think I've worn them a couple times and I've done with them.
Oh, that would be perfect.
And how much of the charade shall I come on the stage? Is this how?
Yes, wait for him to introduce himself and begin the grand opening statement, and then you rush out on the stage in a fury and tell the entire crowd that he is not you. He is clearly an imposter, and then you will have their ears and their hearts.
Excellent. Yes. It sounds like a wonderful idea. Okay. Well, yes. Gregor I will make sure that he gives you some of my discards to wear, and it has been. And he opens one of these books and signs them and hands it to you. The title is called "My Struggle Against the Empire: One Man, One Revolution."
Oh God, he's such a
Yeah, I know. I hate him too.
Mission accomplished.
and considering he's sitting there in the essentially nobles district with more money than he knows what to do with.
I will politely leave. If we're led back through the dining room that is set up for a feast, if there's like a bundle of grapes,
Sure, there is. Yeah,
some on the way out. I'll grab the bundle in.
Yeah.
Start
The halfling. The halfling comes over and he unties the leather pieces off your shoes, and then a human woman comes out of the back room, another room, and hands you like a bundle of clothes that have been tied with some shoes and a hat and a cloak. Like they just nod, and he's like, "Here's what Solamor requested. You have everything. Thank you."
Take it and then hand it to my hooded figured friend to carry.
Yeah, he's like, "Okay, all right."
And then hand back the empty grape stem.
Okay.
I won't be needing this anymore.
So he leads you again through the upper class district, and you stop off at a small little shop in the merchant district and pretty much wait the rest of the evening. You're probably there for 4 or 5 hours. Again, it's got a little painting that elfin painting that he moves the thing and makes sure there's that chalk scrawled rune. And he's like, "We have to just sit here. I don't want to be seen in public. We're just going to wait till dark." He says, "I know where the rest of the crew is. They're in the industrial district, which is north of town." So as he's leading you north of town, later in the evening, like 9 or 10 o'clock at night, he remarks to you, he's like, because you have to cross the bridge, he's like, "That's strange." He says, "There aren't a whole lot of soldiers out." He's like, they've pulled back. He said they're on like minimum patrol, which is kind of weird. He makes a note. He notes that to you. And you make your way all the way up, taking a path along. You can see the harbor. It takes a while. It probably takes like at least an hour to get to the industrial district. But as you're passing one place in particular, as he points out, the Grand Mausoleum, there is a crowd of soldiers around it, and you can see a lot of commotion. And there's some looks like probably mages or arcane practitioners and clerics and not just soldiers, but a bunch of people around there. And he walks. He does not go. He stays away. He's like right at the docks because you have to go up hills. It's like terraced almost. He stays away from there. Like they're all over the place. He's like, well, I guess that's where they all are. But as you make your way into the industrial district with these tall buildings, you go like into an alley, an open door, and you go down into like a stairwell, and there's the rest of the group is right there.
Nice. Well,
Yay.
hello again. I believe I've retained our speaker.
Oh, excellent.
Wonderful.
Wonderful news.
And I came up with an idea while I had time to relax, which actually I have to run it by the collective memory of this group to see if it's feasible. Is there a sort of generic student uniform?
I think there was something, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's vaguely what I remember, which means that, they ought to be multiple places we can obtain them, which means we should be able to obtain some fairly quickly. And we would blend in more wearing, uniformist genericus than, what we normally wear.
I think they mistook me for a student. So, and he just kind of, Timul just kind of like pops his robe and he's just like, maybe we could find where some robes are. That shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah.
Great idea. I could probably use some makeup too. See if I can like touch up this scar. As he feels around the multiple scars that have accrued across the face.
Are you wearing your like fancy helmet at all times now?
Yeah. My bumper helmet.
Yeah.
You don't know when that will strike. You could just like trip and hit a coffee table and that's his third concussion.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's a wonderful idea.
Like, how many concussions do you get before the concussion protocol kicks in and you're removed from the game?
What? The concussion protocol. You just got to retire your character. He's just
Goes on a speaking tour. Listen, kids.
No, the NFL's done that thing with the concussion protocol now.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Is this the day before our planned little diversion?
Yeah, this
ride?
is late in the evening of the 20th day of King's Choice. Tomorrow is rest and prayer, and it's as you probably heard, there are like 4 services that are done. Sunrise, noon-ish when the sun's at its highest, sunset, and then the one in the evening.
If all the soldiers are already at the mausoleum, it's not going to matter because they're going to handle that before tomorrow.
Maybe not. Oh, the other thing Orion will do is he will hand Gontor the dentures in goop, which Tamul might not have seen this before. Orion rummages around in his backpack and comes up with what looks like a set of dentures, which is still moving, by the way. It drowned in green goop, and he says, to Jontor, "You're a spellcaster. You should be able to learn control water from this, and you can cast it. You can cast it once from this too. Do not change the default spell on that thing until we can hand it around, though. But you should be able to learn control water from this. I understand you've only got one spell." Jontor's like, I've never learned from a magic object before, but I can try it, I guess.
You'll do great, John.
I'd love to have another spell. Ryan will load up control water on the ring he has, and he still has it. But he'll let John Tor try to learn scribe the spell from the item. It worked for him, so why not? It'll work for everybody, right? Don't worry, Tim. We'll pass it around.
I'm not that kind of spellcaster. I said I'm not that kind of spellcaster, guys. I'm a mage. I need scrolls and money. I don't have a cool book like John Tor.
It's too bad.
You need scrolls?
Yeah,
Wait a minute,
actually.
you're a mage, but mages do have a spell book.
Mm-mm.
No. I'm a mage, not a magic user.
Yeah, a mage is sort of like Gandalf.
I trained my ability to do the spell book stuff for I can use a sword like Gandalf and
Mhm.
Seeing that as a class, is that one that's not in the
Yeah, it was an
manual?
extra. Yeah, it's an extra class. It was added.
this Carcass Crawler one.
Yep.
If you want to check it out.
Cool.
Okay.
So what kind of spells can you use or can you use?
They're more like abilities.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
the
they're
closest-
kind of kind of like a thief has his ability. That's kind of what what Tamul has. So I
Oh,
think like
okay.
detect magic or I think charm person might be one.
Suggestion.
Suggestion, yeah. So
it's close
those are like
enough.
abilities he has.
Okay.
But right now they're not that effective though because like they kind of scaled my level. So yeah.
But they're more effective than they were a couple.
Yeah. A couple percent. Yeah. It's up there.
Anything you're gonna do this evening, you're like. Also, I think I said, just to clarify, Bertram says that in the industrial district there are a bunch of underground tunnels. That's where most of them are. He said there is actually one that goes across the bay to the like the lower class district where you guys were at the Tough Nut Oasis and all that. He says, but that hasn't been traversed in a long time. It could be flooded. And the apes do not go in these tunnels. They're very old. They're full of water. There are a few tunnels in the lower class district, but not as many as out here. He says, if something happens and we're compromised, he points to a place on the wall. He says, just knock that place on the wall. It should open. And there's a ladder that leads down and we'll exit via the tunnels if we have to.
Okay.
I will just ask him before like he runs away or runs off.
No, he's
Does-
staying with you guys.
Oh, okay. Can you send out for somebody rather eloquent that's a part of the cause that doesn't mind taking a fall and maybe serving some time?
Ha!
He'll be paid. He'll be paid. Of course.
Oh, and we need somebody to wrestle us up a bunch of student uniforms and, appropriate.
Don't worry, John
drapes.
Tor.
He
I'm
says
already on it.
he says I think the boss has gotten some stuff prepared. He had like a cleric robe. You mentioned, I think you said something about a cleric's robe. I think he's got that, and he's got some sort of auxiliary group uniform. He said that he was going to acquire for you guys, but
Oh, really? Cool.
I'm not sure. We'll take care of it tomorrow. But
How foresighted of him.
he says, oh, okay. And the hooded figure, him and the two of them converse and laugh a little bit, and they kind of shrug. And he's like, okay. And the hooded figure leaves. He's going to go look for somebody. There's probably a sucker out there.
Perfect.
Okay, so anything you're doing this evening before you go to sleep and rest? Bertram's going to stay up. He says it's pretty secure. The door's locked. Like you said, we should be fine.
Yeah, actually, could Tamul go out and get like a change of clothes, change of robes,
Change of robes.
just in case.
That'd be the one stipulation. You're not roaming. He says you can't roam around. You got to hang out in this room with this chamber pot and this picture. And there's a mirror in the corner, and he's got a little bit of rations, some dried meat, and some ale. But he says, "Yeah, I can't have you roaming around. We need to stay put, considering what just happened."
Basically, ask him could he send somebody to go get
Yeah,
like
before that guy
change of-
leaves, he
change of
taps him on
robes,
the
just in
shoulder.
case, yeah.
He says, also another thing. It's like, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, John Tor's obviously going to try studying what he can figure out about the denture. Sort of not believing, but not quite disbelieving what he's told, but what the hell. If it works out, it's another spell. He'll have double his spells.
What? That's pretty awesome.
He's only got one spell. It's what a beginning wizard has. It's one spell.
That's true.
You mean elf?
So, well, yeah, they cast arcane. They cast like a wizard. So
Felix will be sharpening his blades. just in case.
I remember there was some besides the leather helmet. There was some other. There's something else that guy.
Yeah, you dropped off the jerkin to be fixed. The jerkin of many colors.
Yeah, so he might send.
This guy needs to go pick it up too.
To go pick up his dry cleaning.
Okay, all right. So he's got to get a new robe for Tamul, and pick up the jerkin, and find some flunky who doesn't mind prison. Okay.
Felix is carrying Karn's Hemadiah longsword, right?
Somebody's got it.
Yes, not Felix, but somebody else does.
Oh,
Like some random guy.
One of the groups.
I forget who was carrying it. Somebody was, but I don't remember who it was.
oh, I thought it was Felix was carrying it. Felix or Clintock.
Battle of Wilberforce was the one who picked it up originally.
Well, he picked up all that stuff, but we've already decided that he wasn't going to carry the plate mail through the portal with him, right? Because
Right.
Yeah.
So he left the plate mail.
we would have left the plate mail behind. But I thought somebody was carrying the Hemadiah longsword, and he was carrying. I wrote down on his thing he was carrying the whip. Yeah,
He was
and
using the whip. evidently.
Karn still has the statue with him, and I guess Basil would be wearing the spider hat.
Karn has
If-
Karn's got the spider hat. Karn has the spider hat and the idol.
And the idol, that's right. Okay.
Was Captain Bosun brought up in the recap? I can't remember.
I don't recall.
Okay. Just so you recall, Captain Bosun is the one who took them across the bay, so you guys could go right up to the mausoleum and then took you up to the industrial district.
Yeah.
And I will point out, you did give him like 150 gold to do such things from Orion. The unique thing about Captain Bosun was all his crew were wearing like shorts and sandals, and they had no hair, no eyebrow hair, no hair anywhere, and they were all full of tattoos. And his ship was covered in that pitch that you saw, Clintock and Felix saw when you went in, that were on the watchtowers that didn't
Yeah.
burn. His ship was entirely covered of that.
Nice.
And Captain
Morning
Bosun
fog,
had all
too.
sorts of scars, sort of like he'd been burned. But you have that is one person that you have talked to and have some kind of association with. So just don't forget about him. And I think there was speculation that he was some kind of weird cult dude or something because everybody was no hair, tattoos, or whatever. But
Yeah, that's the thing. That now that we've got now that you're back west, you were planning on you're thinking of taking Karn away by boat. Is that how we were planning on getting the hell out?
I mean, that was probably the easiest way to get away from this place at any decent speed. But I mean, if somebody has a bright idea to get back into the portal, by all means. But
More than one means of egress from this city would be a good idea.
yeah,
Multiple.
yeah, I mean, you guys could take a boat. There is a train that heads south. You just have to figure out when that leaves.
Yeah, well, they got trains.
Yeah, you could take, which I believe is called. I think in this part of the world, it's called the Iron Horse.
Is this Republic City? Are we in Avatar? What's going on? All right, cool.
Right.
That's good to know, though. Good to know. Write that down.
Actually, we should probably speak to Captain. If we have time, we should probably speak to Captain Bosun. He clearly doesn't mind. How shall we say this? Ignoring the law as long as his palm is greased.
Seems like there are a lot of people like that in the city.
So I think what Zofan and Basil Bessik's both sailors, right?
Basil's certain. Well, Zofan is, and then I guess Zofan is from like
His background.
and Basil also sails, but it's not officially his background.
Okay, yeah. So give me a D6 roll for Zofan, since he was a sailor.
1.
The name. So as you're sitting there and you think of, you realize that you've heard this name before, Captain Bosun. The rumor is that he is immortal. Like he has lived a long time. Like he's got to be hundreds of years old.
Ooh.
That might be the concussion talking.
So is that all he knows?
Yeah, that like the rumor is like he
hasn't-
seems to claim to, it seems like he was around or seen events, or people just think that he has been around for like hundreds of years because he's associated with events that happened like a long time ago, or people just, that's the rumor about him.
Gotcha. Zofan would you see him kind of just idling his thumbs, and then he's like, Bosun, I know that name.
Really?
He's a legend. He's supposedly a legendary sailor. Rumors are that he's immortal because Captain Bosun has been tied with events dating over the past couple hundred years.
We've seen him out in the daylight. Yes.
Yes.
Immortal. I mean, there's lots of races that live for a couple hundred years. Doesn't mean he has to be immortal, does it?
Well,
Good point.
he looks human.
Well, looks can be deceiving.
Okay. Point to note, bards, let's see, from second level, a bard has a 2 in 6 chance of
Hey,
knowing lore
bardic
for
lore.
who monsters, magic
Yep.
items, or heroes of folktale or legend.
Okay.
So, you mind if I roll and see if I can
Yeah,
figure
go
out
for it. Yeah,
more?
that's what it's there for.
Let's see if I can roll low. Probably not, but what the heck. That's why we roll dice. 4. So that would be a no. I don't know about it.
As you guys are getting ready for the evening, making your plans, Basil Wilberforce, Orion, Basil Bessex, Felix Clintock, and Zofan all roll a d6. Yeah.
At least it isn't saving throw, and we see this old ape peering down on us.
And if you got a 1 or a 2, I need to know that.
I got a 2.
Okay. 3. Okay. Who got the 2?
Zofan.
Zofan.
Oh wait, does Basil also have
Yep. Yep. Somebody got a 1.
to?
Basil
Yeah,
Wilberforce.
Basil
got
W. Yep.
one.
So those are the only 2 that got 1 or 2.
Yep.
So wait, is everybody rolling or just
No,
Basil?
no. There's a
Okay.
specific reason. You're not being left out for any reason other than they will know in a toot second why.
Oh no! Please leave me out of saving throws, please. Please, every time.
You have my
So,
permission.
So Zofan, you are getting ready to bed down. There's a couple mats in here and just try to rest. And you step by that mirror that is down here in this basement. And you look and you see a red-headed woman standing behind you who looks very familiar. And she looks at you and she makes this motion. She does this a couple times.
Oh, like goodness.
No, she not that. She does this. And she kind of steps back, and when you turn around, like to look, she's gone.
So like a motion, like kind of like breaking a neck.
No, it's not a breaking a neck.
Like caressing?
No, it's kind of like it's me doing a really bad gesture that if anybody knew what I was doing, they probably would be offended. But to all you people who watch this, who read the transcript and are deaf, she makes that kind of motion. I mean, it's probably something you've never seen before, unless something in your background you have some sort of Hitchhiking. Yeah, give me an intelligence roll. See what you get.
A nat 1.
Holy shit. Well, for some reason, I don't know how you know this, but there are gestures that sailors would use. They claim that it's sort of a language that hags use, but sailors kind of adopted it. It means danger. And, it's technically the sign language for danger, which I probably butchered. So just send your email to me and whatever. It won't bother me. Basil, you see the same thing. As you're getting ready for bed at some point, you'll look into the mirror and you see the brunette woman, and she does the same gesture a couple times, and you like, what? And look behind you, and she's gone. She is vanished. And yes, they look familiar. These are definitely the hags that you saw in the Land of Fairy.
Basil remembers the hag. He made that.
Yes.
saving throw.
Oh, that's right. Orion didn't.
Basil made his saving throw. I think Karn did too, or did? Yeah.
Yeah, you remembered. So yeah. So and Zofan, I don't know if you wake everybody up and tell them, or just wait till morning.
I think he would wait till morning because
Yeah, he is concussed.
well, he's concussed, but also like, Zofan has been in danger the moment he left his hamlet. So,
Big shocker.
yeah, it's like, well, yeah. Tell me something I don't know. But he hasn't been visited by the hags in a while.
Right.
So he might like, does anybody look like they're kind of like awake still, or
I don't know. I don't know who the big. Karn would be asleep already, so I don't know the rest of them. I don't know if that's up to you.
Felix is a very cautious sleeper. He waits generally until like a couple hours after everyone else goes to sleep as like a pseudo watch in case anyone tries to get the jump on them.
Okay.
Yeah, unless we set watches, Orion has a tendency to sort of play lullabies for everybody right before bed, and then very slow, soft songs help people relax and go to sleep. So,
Oh, how
Okay.
nice.
yeah, I guess he would know that Felix. I guess he would know at this point that Felix is a cautious. Like the guy always jumps up at the first sign of danger. So Zofan might like creep over to Felix and be like, "Felix, are you sleeping?"
Sit.
I saw it.
So what?
The hag. I saw the hag
Where?
in the mirror. She's gone. But she's made a gesture that we're in danger. I don't know if that means we're in danger generally or in danger tonight.
Well, last time we saw the hags, we're definitely in danger. Have you checked the sigil?
No. I will go do that. And he's gonna go check the sigil.
Yeah,
It's still there.
Yeah, you see, you move the picture. Yeah, it's still there. Still looks normal.
It's still there.
I'm going to suggest we keep watch. So I'll stay up for a couple more hours and I'll wake you up if you're okay with that. And
Yeah.
you can wake that bastard over there up. And he like points over to like Clintock.
Sounds good.
All right, get some rest.
Rest.
Can I say that Basil Wilberforce overheard that? But
That's fine.
kept his mouth shut.
That's fine.
He's a night owl, so
All
he
right.
probably pretends to sleep half the time that people are actually sleeping.
The night passes, at some point late into the night, probably like 3 or 4 o'clock, there's a knock. Bertram immediately gets up and unlocks the door, and it's the hooded figure, and he has some items. He says that he's talking to Bertram. Everybody's asleep. If you maybe you wake up because you hear the knock or something, that's fine. But they're not trying to keep their voice. They're not trying to shout, but they're trying to keep their voices down. And they hand, he's got the jerkin, and he hands the robe to Bertram, and he's like, "Yeah, the streets are really quiet for some reason. It's eerily quiet. I don't know. Something's up. I don't like it." Bertram's like, "Well, it's just I don't like any of this, but it's the way it is." It's like, okay, well, yeah, your flunky will be there. It's like, okay.
Can you send him these? And then he hand.
The clothes.
The clothes. Tell him to wear them.
Okay. And he opens the door, hurries off into the night. Bertram locks the door, comes back downstairs. He gets you guys all up before the sun comes up.
Given last night's events, there's the tunnel system starts here. There's like a set of tunnels that start
Yeah,
here.
most of the tunnel complex is in the industrial district. Yes.
Right. Felix will open up like whatever path into the tunnel to make sure no one's waiting.
Okay.
We'll have, like sword drawn to make sure
Yeah.
not like an ambush gonna happen.
Yeah, Bertram's like checking to see what you're doing. Yeah, you knock on it, and the panel kind of slides over, and you look, and it's just you kind of peek down. If you had a light source, you kind of look down, and it's just a metal ladder that goes down, I don't know, 30 feet, and you can see there's probably like an inch of water at the bottom, and it's just dead quiet. Bertram's like, you hear something or what?
Just checking the security is all.
Yeah, that's a good thought. We're gonna leave as soon as the first service officially starts. So most of the apes will be at their service. We'll roam back. We'll just take the way back. We'll get a boat and go across the bay. We'll look like all the other workers who have to work on rest and prayer. Some people even work on this day. So also, Felix, when you wake up and do this in the morning, you feel, you're still suffering the effects, but your experiences made you a wiser and smarter and hardier adventurer as you have gained another level.
Oh, crazy. Level 4.
Bertram gathers you up, says, make sure you stagger. Don't come out and you make your way down a couple alleys up to a dock right here at the bay, and the buildings are behind you, and there's like a rowboat. No, it'll be bigger than a rowboat. It's a bigger boat to fit all of you. And you guys get in and you start rowing across the bay, and there's a little hook to put the lantern on. As the sun has begun to come up, and you're just rowing across the bay, there's a couple other boats. There's a couple lights on at some of the buildings here in the industrial district. Like some people are working. For the majority, most people don't work. So you make your way across the bay, rowing across the bay. How long would that take? We'll say about 30 minutes to get across the bay, onto the docks. There's not the cluster of ape soldiers that you saw out here searching boats. In fact, there's hardly you don't even spot an ape soldier. The only soldiers you find are like 2 humans that are wearing the symbol of the ape empire and kind of just doing like a patrol as they're just kind of walking the docks, kind of like hanging out. They don't seem to be on alert.
This is good news. Look at this.
You get up on the dock, and Bertram drops some coin to somebody, probably the person who owns this boat or whoever, either probably, so nobody has seen or heard of you. And you make your way down a couple alleys. There's a few lights on for here in the lower class district. And you go into, looks like an abandoned building. It's got a front window that has been boarded up with boards. And he opens it up, and it looks like it was probably some kind of woodworking. There's some woodworking tools in here, and like a chair. Looks like they've been building something, but it looks abandoned. Everything's dusty, and there's cobwebs and stuff. And there's a back room, and the door is open. And standing there is Martellus, who well, Clintock would know his name is Martellus. You guys just know him as the ape that wears the seersucker, what was it, violet seersucker outfit? And he's got a gold seersucker outfit on, and he is standing there, and he is staring down Bertram as Bertram comes in, and Bertram looks very surprised to see him, because to put two and two together, why isn't he at the, rest and prayer, the first service? It's normally for apes. So Bertram was surprised, and he's like, Bertram, let us have a word. And Bertram comes in, and the ape closes the door, but when he closes it, he flings it probably a lot harder than he intended, and it slams closed, and like the dust flies up. You hear yelling.
Oh, Zofan is totally gonna try to just sidle up to that door and put an ear to it and catch every word.
Your boss when you take too many days off.
Is there a listen at doors feature?
There is indeed.
D6. What is your listen at doors?
It's not anything special, so it's be the standard.
Okay.
Is that something that everybody has, or is that like class specific?
I think everybody has a standard, and then some classes are better than others. Probably the thief is probably, or no, I don't know.
Yeah,
Thief
yeah,
got
that's
hear
how it works, yep.
noise.
Thief and assassin and a few other classes get a better chance at it, but most people just got like 1 in 6 or whatever.
Yeah. So Basil or Zofan would be making use of his move silently to step to avoid avoid.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, 1 in 6 for anybody, and some classes have better. There we go.
For listen to doors, it's a 2.
Oh, okay. Is it 2 and 6, or that what you rolled?
I rolled a 2.
I would think it'd probably be 1 and 6 for you.
Basil Wilberforce's hear noises 1 through 3. 1, 2.
Okay. Okay. So I would say for Zofan, he needed a 1 just because of his condition.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, like the buzzing in your head, you're like, it's hard to hear over that.
Do you say that out loud? Like it's hard to hear what they're saying?
Zofan, he wouldn't say anything because he's trying to be quiet, right? And
Yeah.
Like he would look back at the group and be like throwing his hands up.
All right. Do you slink over there, Basil?
Yeah, I was just gonna say Basil Wilberforce can slink over and try to listen at the door. I need the rolling dice. Low rolling dice to speak. Oh,
The rolling
Not
dice.
hard.
I do that sometimes too. I mix up the
Oh.
first letter.
1, baby. 1.
Nice.
Okay. So what you hear is whispering. It's hard to pick up what's being said. There was some yelling at first, but now it's whispering, and you definitely hear somebody gasping for air like they're being choked out.
Oh.
Kinky.
I should be able to use a thieves' cant with Clintock, right? Like maybe I can sort of do a little hand language, like
I mean, that's just a universal sign for choking.
Yeah.
I think everyone will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
Try to let them know. It sounds like somebody's getting choked up there.
Clintock will walk over and knock on the door and say, I was hoping I would get breakfast soon. Are you guys done in there yet?
You distinctly hear somebody hit the ground, like clunk, and they take a big gasp of it. And you hear heavy footsteps come to the door, and the door opens up, and Martellus looks at you and says, "Are you hungry? Is that it? Sorry."
You eat, don't you? You understand hunger?
He snaps his fingers, and he has a piece of celery. Would you like some?
Celery. It's calorie negative.
How do you think
I
I
need
get into
some-
these seersuckers?
Good point. They do. It is a nice trick.
And you look behind you. Well, you can kind of sort of see around. You see Bertram getting up off the ground, staggering, and he says, "Bertram, bring out the rest of the things for our friends here." He takes out a cloth and wipes down the chair. It's all dusty, the stool, and they sits on it. You hear the stool creak, and he eats his celery, just smiling. Bertram comes out of the room, still like catching his breath, and he's got a sack, and he starts to pull out these black fez hats with white tassels, and he starts to pull these out, and these white robes that have a symbol on them that I draw. Martellus says, "Yes, this is the Simeon historical reenactment auxiliary. There are no apes in this group."
Basil Wilberforce grabs a hat, grabs one of the fezzes and puts it on his head and says, "I wear a fez now. Fezzes are cool." Do you have any bow ties?
No.
Do you have any
So it looks like symbol looks like that. He says,
Oh,
"Yeah."
great! He's painting a target on us.
And then Bertram pulls out of the sack some like vestments they're not white, they're like off white. It almost looks dirty.
Oh.
It's not a pure white. Martellus says they don't allow non-simians to wear pure white vestments. So they're like vestments with a very light colored purple robe, like it's not deep purple, kind of smoke on the water thing. It's really light purple. And he says, I know. He looks at Orion and says, "You said something about you wanted to be it's like some kind of cleric or whatever. This is what the non-apes wear, clerics robes."
Well, honestly, player to player, Orion doesn't really remember that, but whatever.
Yeah, I mean, you could change your mind, but he has those out.
Sure, that's true. Orion's the one here who speaks 8, so
No, I speak eight too.
sort of
Yeah.
maybe kind of fake it.
So yeah, tomorrow he'll start dressing in this, in these clothes as well.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
John Tor will try to find see if he can. Are these tight clothes or are these like robes or loose clothes?
You talk the fez and the white robe. Yeah, they're very loose fitting. Yeah, very loose fitting. It's just
good. John Tor is looking to find the biggest one he can so he can drape it over his armor. Poor boy is feeling a little out of his depth and doesn't want to give up his protection.
yeah. You guys are sitting there and trying this stuff on, and you hear a knock at so the room that they came out of. It sounds like there's a door back there, and there's a knock at that door.
Mm-hmm.
And Martellus gets up and he's like, let me get this. And he walks past Bertram and closes the door and goes into the back room.
Bertram's still in the room with us.
Yeah.
Oh, Bertram, looks like you might owe us your life.
He kind of looks at you like, what?
Well, wasn't he like choking you to death in there?
Just it happens sometimes.
Oh, okay.
What?
Sounded like he was going to kill you. We were trying to help you out.
No,
Oh, we just play rough with each other.
No, not that. Just he would have had. There's plenty of times he would have had. Could have killed me.
Mm.
Sounds like a rough life.
Yeah, make the best out of it, whatever I can. You know.
What was he mad about?
Just he gets upset over certain things.
Like what?
Oh, just it's nothing for you guys to worry about. Just stuff that goes on. You know, I'm kind of like the closest person within reach, and he just takes it out on me.
Oh, that's not cool.
Orion suddenly starts appreciating Captain Ox's hands-off leadership a bit more. Yeah, we don't have direction, but on the other hand, we don't have abuse. So
He even sends us letters of warning.
yeah,
Was it over last night's events?
Just yeah. I mean, maybe it's nothing to worry about.
Very
You know, you can tell Bertram's a terrible liar.
mhm.
You
Oh,
just don't want
okay.
to talk about it.
Yeah,
I mean, who would reasonably?
Right.
Did you get a sense of where all the ape soldiers went?
No, we don't know. I mean, I just figured as he looks at the door, you know, like, okay, he's still back there. Figured with what happened, they'd be everywhere, but it's weird. They're just kind of like, almost like they did the opposite. I don't know. It feels weird. It's kind of something's up, but I don't know. Can't put my finger on it.
Well, I suppose we'll eventually find out.
Yeah.
I'd rather we didn't find out. I'd rather we just don't see him anymore.
yeah. Orion considers a potential point of vulnerability and wanders over and quietly has a chat with John Tor, which was basically, you know, if you mention the crystal to Martellus, I will make sure you can't have kids anymore.
What?
Because Orion knows too well that, you know, even in you know, a couple of days of association, that John Tor tends to run his mouth.
Ryan's
So,
awful mean to John Tor.
Yeah.
It's flavor text. Speaking of which, is a day long enough, or a night, I guess, long enough for John Tor to pick up control water or not?
Yeah. Oh, and also your bird form is back.
Yes!
Bird.
Bird is the word.
Bird is the word.
Mo hasn't seen the bird yet. It's fun. It's fun when it comes out. All right, add control water to known spells. Oh, John Tor's so happy.
So you guys are just hanging out there, and walking. You can hear like a commotion coming down the street, like people laughing, like having a good time. And as they pass by this abandoned woodworking shop, like they sound young by their voices. And then a second group comes by, like laughing, and like they're kind of like annoyingly loud, like teenagers are.
Are there any lawns you can tell them to get off of?
This is
So
supposed to be a day of rest and prayer, right?
Correct.
So this is unusual.
Okay.
Is there anywhere we can sort of peek out without, you know, obviously throwing open the door and looking?
I mean, it's not completely boarded, like, so there's a slit, so you could kind of look out the slit where the boards are, and you know, through the window.
Yeah, Ryan's going to suspiciously sort of like go out and eyeball, because this is sort of weird. This is not normal for a day of prayer and rest, even if they're not apes. You know, they would still, ape the majority, ape the rulers there, and not be wandering around doing shit. So he'll sort of peek out and see if he can figure out what's going on.
Yeah, you peek out and you see, it looks like they look young. So you would guess they may be students, maybe. They all have like some sort of blazer on, that's got the Ape Empire emblem sewn on. So and they're all kind of like talking and laughing. They've got drinks in their hands, tankards, and they're like, yeah, man, just go down to the dock. See, yeah, go down there, offer them a couple gold. Yeah, see if we can't get a lift. Yeah, we can do it. Come on. And one of them leaves and like runs down. You can hear him running down the street. And the three of them are just there laughing.
Okay, so it doesn't look like covert soldiers.
Maybe our plan's working. Maybe these kids are out taking advantage of the fact the soldiers aren't in the streets.
Could be that.
What time is our esteemed speaker arriving?
I believe it's when it gets dark, right?
We did get Juce for cover of nightfall.
Yep.
We did make good on getting some barrels of free booze supplied. I believe that was one of our.
Yeah. That's fine.
Hopefully there's a
Okay.
riot when there's no free booze.
Yeah, if the free fucking beer comes up, they're gonna know it's us from what was that other town's name that we trashed?
Thankville.
Well, I think we
Well,
opted
yeah.
for slightly classier this time. We were going to offer wine, I believe.
Oh.
That
So
was
free
okay.
fucking wine.
It's boxed wine, don't worry.
That will be the cry for the revolution from here on out is free fucking booze. whatever.
Wine.
So we started a riot in Clinkville before you joined, Alex, and the thing we were advertising for a few days in advance, and everybody was running around town going, "Free fucking beer!"
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
And then when they shipped in, because they didn't have enough beer on hand to cover it, we incited riots by sinking the ship or actually burning the warehouse down that had the beer that they shipped in for it.
Nice.
So helped to incite riots there.
Sounds like a great time.
Yeah, that would be kind of a strange MO to have inside a riot by offering free beer and then taking the free beer away.
So yeah, they're hanging out outside, like just jaw jacking and drinking and being loud.
Okay, while this is going on, Orion is going to touch up his makeup. We've got, if nothing else, we got a little boot polish that we bought back as part of this expedition to mess things up. And the other thing he'll do is he wants to, I guess it's hard to disguise a spear, but he wants to do something that will make it, that will cover the head so it's not obvious that it's a spear. Is there like a piece of wood that he can sort of whittle into a scabbard?
Yeah, you got plenty of there's tools, you got plenty of time to do that.
Yeah, and so he's gonna make it considering he's the human, which is a second class cleric, what the effect he's aiming for is, second class cleric staff,
Mm-hmm.
Somebody looks at him and says, "Oh, one of those humans who can't get a real staff." He's literally aping his betters or some, stuff like that.
Anything you guys are going to do? So about 20 minutes later, Martellus comes back into the room,
Okay.
eating a carrot this time, and he looks at Bertram and he's like, "Go get some food." He's like, "Okay," and Bertram slips out the door and.
So do we have everything before we go into this place, though?
We're going to be a reenactment society. If we're actually going to sort of kind of fake it, Orion is going to dredge his memory for, dredge his memory for some, big battle or whatever. Battle is good because a lot of us have armor and weapons. Some big battle from the Ape Empire, and he's going to pound the basic details into the skull of everybody. You
Hey, I
know,
like
the
it.
battle name and when it happened, and you know how the Ape Empire won, and you know here's a couple of talking points just in case it comes up. You know, because if we're supposed to be some sort of reenactment society, then you know if we couldn't even if we didn't even have a cover story, it'd be stupid. So Orion's gonna come up with you know one of these legendary battles and try to provide some sort of basic cover story. You know, it'll explode if anybody who actually knows history touches it, but you know, it might fool the idiot off the street.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good. Tumul, he'll you know, listen to the stories and you know try his best to commit it to memory.
Does my lackey show up that's going to take the fall?
You're told that the lackey will be there like 5 minutes before. He's supposed to 5 minutes before everything's supposed to kick off. At least they think. Bertram says that the person they got, he's gotten into a little bit of trouble with the Ape Empire, but they got it to spin. They spun it to him that if he does this, the apes are gonna kind of let whatever he did ride and kind of let him alone.
Well,
Of course.
great.
All right.
Yeah, sorry, we aren't last minute tactical geniuses coming up with perfect.
No, I
plans.
mean, no. I mean, I mean, I had.
We distract them. We somehow get the Karn. We use the various distractions to get him out of there. Speaking of which, I know how we're getting Karn out of there.
Okay.
Does Zofan still have his invisibility fetish? His invisibility thing?
What fetishes does Zofan have? Let's talk about it.
It wasn't. I don't remember. It wasn't a robe or a ring. It was
Right.
yeah.
It was.
It's a statue. It's like a small statue.
So it is a fetish.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to suggest is the way we get Karn out of there is I play as a cleric trying to have a religious discussion with Karn and go in the room and then have Karn turn invisible and sort of, you know, follow me out invisible when I leave. Unless you guys have another brilliant idea, that's the best I can come up with.
I think it's good.
I dig it.
How long does the invisibility last? Do we know?
It lasts 1d6 rounds.
Rounds?
I think so.
Rounds or minutes?
Rounds. Yeah, it's not very long.
That's not going to do anything for us.
That might be enough. Who knows?
It might be enough to get him around a corner.
Rounds. So that's like what, 6 seconds? So anywhere from
6 to 36 seconds.
6 to 36 seconds. And hey, you come up with a better idea.
Yeah.
Help me out here.
Yeah.
Going in there at force isn't.
I mean, what if multiple people are needed? Like, what if we were going to perform an exorcism?
Like a mock exorcism, like we're
yeah.
just doing the reenactment.
Yeah.
I love this idea.
I could be using Basil's thing to say, here I'm here to lead this person up to this room, to this cleric up here, because he's here to try to convert Karn.
To drive the demon of Cuthbert out of his body.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, that could actually.
I dig it.
I think
it's a solid plan.
I think so too.
I'm sorry, but we're assuming his guards are a little stupid in that case. Or excuse me, a lot stupid. I'm assuming they're a little stupid.
They're devout.
But
right?
that way we do have all of us there.
And also, I mean, I guess we don't know this actually, we know the tower where he's located, right?
Yes, you do.
And from what I remember from that scene where he was talking with the governor, there's a window there, right?
Yeah, it's very small. It's
so-
like one of these windows.
Oh, damn it! Oh, well.
Yeah.
Never mind. Thought we were
Not
gonna
enough
Rapunzel
yards to
down.
go around.
No, they weren't
Yeah.
letting Karn climb out the window.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
They might be treating him well, but they do not want him let go, I don't think.
Everything in gray is the scholar district. The purple color that you see is the admin district. You have been in there already. So you see the big circle, the Pene Coconum lecture hall. That is where Karn is being held at the very top. The walkway that you went down, you see that walkway that goes down there? That's the walkway went down, like when Tamul went off the path and walked around. That's that whole area right there. If you walk all the
Okay.
way into where the purple is, that's where you came out of the portal.
Oh, okay. Everything's making sense now.
All right.
Also, how
And
long did it take you to make this map?
Probably too long.
Too long. I like it.
The purple section by itself between the two, what is it? The archives. That's the doctor's office that you burned. And then the next purple one, all going clockwise, are the barracks.
Okay.
Okay. And then you will see near the coast is the Emperor's residence. And everything associated in yellow is part of his residence. So the Emperor of Central Anor, that's where he is. And you'll see a line that goes, there's a waterfall. Hopefully it looks like a waterfall.
It does.
It does.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's like a 60-foot drop.
Oh.
There are ways to get down. Everything in black is like a road.
Okay.
Got it.
So
Basil Wilberforce can't help but think about the idea of sneaking into the Emperor's residence and slitting his throat in the middle of the night.
what? How did we get here?
We have to get out somehow.
And
Basil Wilberforce can go on his own if he wants to try that shit.
Oh yeah, it would have to be a solo mission, and he's not that stupid, but the thought crosses his mind.
Okay, and the light brown square things are like stones, like I said, because it's very swampy. So that's a swampy area. Anything that's got like 3, it's green with like 3 is swamp. The ones that look like a upside down comb, that's grass. And then you can tell the other ones are supposed to look like trees. But the Pene Conconum Lecture Hall, from what you understand, they are going to have whatever this is. They're bringing in a stage, and they're putting it to the left of the lecture hall outside. They're not going in. They're not having whatever this presentation is inside. They're doing it outside at night. So it's to the left of the walkway.
Gotcha.
What's this just to the direct west of the lecture hall? Those 3.
That's just part of the scholar district. So they might be part of the lecture hall. They might be residences. They might be, who knows what they're part of.
If we've got a little time during the day, Basil's walking around and looking at the lecture hall and trying to see if there's a way to climb up to the top from the outside, and conversely climb down from the top from the outside.
Okay. So is that something you're going to do? You're going to venture out during the day to go skulk around?
I don't know. I was saying if we are skulking around.
Like I said, no grand plan here. Just cause chaos and capitalize on it.
Well, the good thing, at least we know that like it's in where he's being held is very, very close to the portals. So, I mean, it's just a suggestion, but like if we take the closest route, right? Maybe we could just neutralize the guards and just escape. Like,
the question you have to ask is the portal still active?
That is true.
Yeah,
we could check that.
That's a big problem.
And how do we get somebody to open the portal if it's not? Can we force someone to open us a portal? By the time we get there, will there be enough of us in any kind of condition to force somebody to open the portal, or will the apes have beat the shit out of us already?
Will there even be mages? Will there even be 8 mages to do it? Because apparently they're pulling a bunch of the 8 mages to the mausoleum. Too many unknowns, I'm afraid. I mean, nice to think of options, but I'm thinking too many unknowns are unlikely at this point.
So maybe it would be worth doing just a scouting around a little bit, just to kind of get a lay of the land. Like, even though the mages may be preoccupied, like, since portals is something that is done with some frequency, there may be some item that does it, or that they've imbued some item with the ability to open up portals. It doesn't necessarily require a mage.
So should we have like a?
You know, it's been slot the crystal, open the portal. So we've sort of seen that already.
Yeah. So
should we have a recon team go out, like, and just who wants to do recon if we're going with this?
Don't forget, you also, if leaving via ship is an option, Captain Bosun would be somebody you would need to talk to.
Right.
I think we should split the party. Have somebody talk with Captain Bosun.
Don't bother me.
Yeah, we should have somebody, talk to Captain Bosun. We should have some number of people scout the electric hall.
Okay.
And see if like we can walk into the archives area in the admin district to see if it's on high alert, or like to see if there is a gem laying around, or what that.
Yeah, see if you just see what it looks like. See if you can get in there.
Yeah, because what would be ideal is if we could have someone, or it's like some group bust out Karn, have another group get the portal ready, and then and then like we can just do one fell swoop.
So we're definitely not hopping on the ship.
Well, like, plan B is pull a fugitive, jump down the waterfall, swim out to shore.
That's what I was just gonna say. Is we have the captain down there at the mouth of the river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 60-foot drop. That's a 60-foot drop. That's crazy. That's
why you got a hustle point.
That's why you get a hustle point, and that's why we get a bunch of barrels to ride down the night.
Exactly. Yeah.
What is this, Donkey Kong, man? We can't just be riding. Come on, man. But
Basil,
I was thinking more of the
Hobbit,
but
Basil Barrel Rider.
Not okay. Maybe not. So wait a minute. Based on the picture, is that a waterfall? Is the waterfall down to the Incandescent residence?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you don't have to
goes-
necessarily take the waterfall down. Like, if we went out there ahead of time and we dropped a few ropes down beside it into that pool of water and had a couple of canoes there, we could float out into the river. I mean, we've only got a day to do this, so I don't know. Or swim. I mean, Basil Wilberforce doesn't have a great record with swimming.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why don't we ask the expert here in this case? So Orion will volunteer to go talk to Captain Bosun, since he was the one who did it last time. Assuming somebody's in the, the admin district, what's the easiest water route out of the admin district? And basically ask Captain Bosun not to do anything in particular, but like park his boat out somewhere where we can hail him, and he can send a rowboat for us or whatever.
Oh, Ryan is going to do that. Go talk to Bosun.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So who's going to be doing scouting? And also, Orion, while you're going, just maybe see if you can get some canoes set up too, because I do like that idea.
Because of the danger warning, Felix is going to hang out back at our hideout here.
Okay.
Waiting and being mindful of the tunnel exit if necessary.
Technically, there's no tunnel exit here.
Yeah, that was back at the
yeah.
other place.
You switch locations. Yeah, I'll just let you know. There is, of course, if you look here in the woodworking shop that's been abandoned, there is a picture of an elf that looks like the same elf that you've seen.
Okay.
And there is some chalk marks on there.
Okay.
So
So who's the scouting group?
he's going to volunteer for scouting.
All right, got Tamul,
Yeah, and Basil Wilberforce can go scouting.
Basil W,
Grace.
Four.
John Tor,
Of course, Clintock will offer.
John Tor, Clintock.
Yeah, I guess Zofan would. Zofan, after he slept off, does he still have his -4? Because that concussion lasts for a day, right?
Yeah, and it goes to -2, but since you have 2 concussions at -2, it stacks. Sorry.
Right. The old double concussion. So Zofan is not going to offer for as much as his skills would be a good fit for scouting. He's not really feeling up to it, so he would offer to.
Cool. Could you set up the rope at the waterfall?
Yeah. Zofan could do that. He could go hang from dangerous edges. He'd probably be fine.
Well, he's an acrobat, right?
He is. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
A concussed
Sweet.
acrobat, but an acrobat nonetheless.
But he's so good at what he does. It might, the muscle memory might take over. I don't know.
So you set up. I guess at the very least, you could recon the waterfall area and set up ropes and see what you need to do, right?
Yeah, and if we can get if we got ropes that are just enough so that you can slide all the way down and then do a 10-foot drop or something, that'd be great.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm going to suggest that we don't ever have one person alone because that's recipe for disaster. So maybe
Basil and Zofan go together.
Well, I didn't know if Basil Bessix wanted to go to the.
No, I meant
scouting.
Basil W and Zofan go together.
Mm.
We go do a little bit of the scouting, and then I help you put out the ropes. I've got high decks. I'm a thief. I got climb skills.
Makes sense.
That would sound great. Basil, I think, is also.
Yes, he is. He's at -2. Yes.
Yeah. So.
Lots of poor decisions over there.
Yeah. The concussion. It's just stemming from the player, really. Basil, but he's not as concussed as Zofan. So what Basil will do is he will offer to go into the admin building and hoping that these robes hide his one much larger arm than the other, which is probably pretty much a giveaway.
Okay.
He might also try to find some makeup.
You've got plenty of that. I mean, Basil Wilberforce picked up some. And they got you stuff. So, yeah, you can. So this is what I got. I got Orion is going to go talk to Bosun. Felix will be at the hideout, the woodworking shop, hanging out. Tamul, Basil W, John Tor, Clintock are all headed to the Scholar District and the lecture hall just to recon that area. Along with Zofan, and then Zofan and Basil Wilberforce will break off at some point and go check out the waterfall. And Basil Bessix probably will be with the group and then go into the admin building to see if the portal is there and what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay.
That leaves John Tor, who's like.
Oh, John Tor is
scouting
going with the
whatever.
recon group, unless you change your mind.
Yeah, it's just weird to have both of the characters together, but I don't
Yeah,
want necessarily have them alone either. So
Well, I would
Orion
say
by himself.
I could say that if you want, you could have Felix go with you, unless he absolutely has to be there, because Bosun is right nearby. His boat is in this area, so
Yeah, Felix
that
will
wouldn't
offer.
that wouldn't be a big deal.
Plus, I'd feel safer with John Tor with us, to be honest. That sleep spell is amazing.
John Tor So I'm sorry, we decided John Tor's going with which group?
John Tor's going with the recon group, and Orion and Felix will go together, talk to Bosun, and then presumably go back to be at the hideout. Bertram is going to hang out at the hideout. There are other groups that come by during the morning of students that come by. You can tell because they're loud and they got drinks in their hands. So there's probably 2 or 3 groups that pass by at some point. And at some point, so when is this recon? When are you all headed out? Like mid-morning or something? Or
I think sooner than later. After we talk, like you know, go team.
Go team
And then-
venture.
And then cause mischief.
Sometime during the mid-morning, you come up with this plan. Bertram just says, whatever you do, don't do anything stupid. Don't get caught. Don't be doing something crazy. Because they're gonna be looking for you. And Martellus goes in the back room and says, good luck. And
All right. Well, Orion's comment, if he's talking to Orion and Felix in particular, if he's talking
no, he's talking to the
everybody,
group in general.
Oh, okay.
Just in general, just like, hey, just don't get crazy out there.
And if Bertram looks around, Orion's just rolling his eyes, going,
You go down to the docks. And of course, the ship. You cannot miss this ship that is covered in black pitch. The sails are kind of off-white. It's a weird fabric that is on the sails. It looks like maybe there was a color to them, but it is faded. And Captain Bosun is standing there with his hands crossed. He has no facial hair, but you can see with his cloak has fallen, he's got burn marks all along his arms. And he's like talking to, looks like students who are just like trying to offer him money. And he's like, fuck off, kids, just get out of here. And they kind of leave. They get irritated. They leave, and he sees you guys walk up. He recognizes Orion. He's like, hey, how's it going? And he looks at Felix, and he kind of gives you a look of one who understands your plight.
Yeah.
well, that's right. Felix has all the lightning burns.
Yeah.
So Orion goes, just out of curiosity, those loudmouths, and I'll sort of gesture towards the direction the students went away, were bugging us. We're, waking us up earlier. What's their deal?
Oh, they're all excited because they got some 4-day pass or something from the university due to their high marks or good whatever crap. So they're all trying to get somewhere. That group there wanted to go to Harper. You've heard of the Sentient Tower brothel?
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Have I heard of the Sentient Tower brothel?
You may have heard it. Yeah, it's fairly famous. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Is that a euphemism?
In other words,
it's literal.
What?
It's literal.
Literal what?
As in Sentient Tower brothel, it is a literal term.
Huh.
Oh wow.
Wow.
The city has everything.
I'll just say, a bunch of bookheads couldn't get a woman to save their life unless they paid, obviously.
Yeah, they don't.
So we might. Are you guys up for an impromptu ride again? Because we might need another last minute. We might need another last minute boat ride here later on today.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I've already booked passage for one group, but I got plenty of room. You've already paid me a pretty good amount. I don't know how much coin you got.
Well, let's talk. I'll basically, we might have this sudden desire to go sailing somewhere from the admin district. Give me a couple of points where it would be easier to pick us up from there, and let's talk about how you do that.
Well, you probably want to be at the, probably where that river comes out. I can park my boat there if you're going to use that as an egress.
So there's no particular problem. That area is not restricted.
No,
or not
for me.
restricted.
Not for me.
Okay. Not for you.
Good to know.
Huh. Well, that would be great if you could hang out there at egress of that river. And we might not need it. You know, this might be free coin for you for just sitting around for a couple hours. Who knows?
Okay.
But let's talk. How would I get down that river? What's the best way to get down that river if I need to?
I mean, well, I wouldn't recommend unless, you know, I don't know what kind of swimmers you guys are, but some kind of raft or something. I mean, are you looking to move with haste? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Pick up a couple boats. The stream
some
should
that
take
sort
you.
of
You
thing.
wouldn't have to. You wouldn't have to do a whole lot of work to steer your way. Make sure you don't, you know, get caught up in anything in the stream. But it moves pretty good through there. Sometimes some of the students take rides on rafts down out along there, but usually they're ship faced.
Even better. Maybe you could have somebody standing by at the little lake there, just in case we want to, you know, take a nighttime boat ride for no reason whatsoever.
Okay, so you want a boat there at the lake.
Yep.
Okay.
And you guys at the docks.
Yeah.
I'm so happy that that's a reasonable thing. So, you know, how much are we talking about?
How many people are we talking?
I'll count it up. How many people are we talking? So
6, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like 8, 10. Is that right?
9.
Okay, 9 or 10.
Karn,
Who
Basil, Tamul, John Tor, Orion, Basil, Zophan, Clintock, Felix. That's 9.
Well, can't argue with the math.
Sure. Let's go. I'm gonna tell him 10.
Okay. All right. So pick up at so we'll have 2 boats sitting there since there's gonna be 10 of you. I'll have a couple of my crew waiting. About what time?
Be after midnight, right? Because we're expecting things to kick off.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's supposed to happen at sundown, so it's, you know, like 6, 7 o'clock.
Sundown.
I mean, when it gets dark, so.
From 8 to midnight?
Okay. I would just give him a time range that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah. You get you squared away on the boats and get you down the river and get you out to the ship and take you to a certain location, specific location you got in mind.
Just
East and north.
I'll look at Felix. I'll look at Felix and go, you know, did our host have any suggestions? I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
I think probably down the coast about 20 miles is where we're supposed to pick up.
Sure. Okay. Sure, we'll do that.
Down the coast 20 miles?
30 knots, whatever. I don't speak sailor.
Not the speed.
Who's
Not
supposed to pick
saying
you? Who's supposed to pick you up?
Our caravan.
Okay. I mean,
Does he have a map? He can show us a larger map. We'll basically pick a spot to drop off that's sort of near a road.
Felix tries to shoot Orion a look without our bald captain friend noticing. You don't tell somebody who you're not sure about where you actually want to go.
okay, so if you look at the central Lenore map, so the little star at the top is Lindbergh, which you are currently at. You will see the little train tracks. If you go straight east across the Modra Sea, you will hit East Lenore.
Really? How long would that be?
He says, depends. I would anticipate being followed, so it may take a couple extra days, but trust me, they're not going to follow me.
Oh, you're that good, eh? I sort of look at Felix and raise an eyebrow, like all the way there.
How about we'll see if you lose him to get us to Free by the Sea, and then if we're not being tailed, then we'll continue on.
Well, my best bet is to go directly east.
Well, I'll defer to you then, Captain.
Let the captain do his job. Okay. So how much does he want for all this fun?
Okay. 300 gold. And I won't ask any questions. If you don't have it now, that's fine. Just make sure you show up with it when we're getting ready to depart.
Well, I wouldn't expect you to, wait for us for nothing. How about 100 now and 200 when we get 200 if we use you.
Oh, that's fine with me. I'll take it.
Okay.
So yeah, he pockets the money, puts it in his cloak, and he's like, "Okay, I'll be there." I don't know what time the other passengers will be there, but it's about the same time. So, trust me, if we need to leave, we'll leave. But I'll send word.
Okay. Oh, my money's going down quickly. Oh well. Like I said, doesn't spend in the shroud. Oh well.
And as you're saying that, you getting ready to leave, you see two of his guys, the distinct, because they wear shorts with no shirt and a bunch of tattoos and flip-flop sandals, and they're pushing a cart, and you realize they're big barrels, and on the outside of the barrels, like it's that black ichor stuff, that pitch that's like, you can see it's full of that. And he's like, he yells at them. He's like, you don't really yell at them. He's like, yeah, get it down below. Yeah, that should be enough. Okay.
Do these guys drink that stuff? Never mind.
He's like, well, good luck. I hope to see you.
Yeah. Thank you.
And then as you depart, he comes over to the group and he starts talking to them in a language you have never heard before. And you guys head back. We go to the other group, which is, I guess, the rest of you, because eventually you break off. So you make your way. You've got to make your way all the way down. Probably takes you like 45 minutes to an hour to get all the way back to the Scholar District as you go up the road, which you will pass every once in a while. Students on their way to the district that you're leaving, because that's where the best bars and tavern is, and if they want to go anywhere.
We need to pick up rope along the way. Sorry,
Okay.
I didn't mean to interrupt you. But...
No, that's fine. Yeah, you can. You are able to find a shopkeep that is open. Well, he unlocks the door when you come up and looks around, because he's probably supposed to be closed. And whatever rope costs, you purchase that rope.
How many ropes do you want to, like, if we've got 9 of us sliding down ropes in a hurry, do we want like 4 or 5 ropes dangling down? The more ropes we have dangling down, the
more obvious it is.
The more obvious they are. Do we maybe put one place, one another place, and then one another place? Spread them out.
Sounds like a great plan. We can have like maybe 3. Do you think 3 would be?
Yeah.
Because it is dark. We are doing this during night.
You don't throw them down immediately. You anchor them at the top and keep them coiled at the top. Hide them under a tarp and some leaves or whatever until you need them.
There we go.
I think 3 should be sufficient.
Yeah.
We can have multiple people.
Yeah.
Go down a rope at a time.
Mm-hmm.
What if we put 3 one place and put 1 somewhere else, 1 or 2 somewhere else? And if somebody stumbles on the one, or the one route's bad, or something along those lines.
Yeah, that
Redundancy is good.
Well, who's setting up the? Yeah. Well, I mean, you guys are the ones setting the rope. You guys, I'm gonna shut my mouth.
As long as we do, maybe we can procure some sort of sack to haul them in. So
yeah,
we're not just walking around with 5 coils of rope in broad daylight.
Yeah. We'll buy a large sack then.
I'll just want to put it out there that if we want to make our escape more likely to work, I suggest we make a false escape plan. Maybe that we're going to hijack a train, and that will distract some of the guards, surely.
That's excellent.
See, that's what I like about you. You smart.
John Tor is sort of looking around and going, "This isn't what I imagined at all. I mean, I thought a band of," and he lowers his voice carefully, famous outlaws would be, these great criminal masterminds and great plans, but it's just running from disaster to disaster and making it up as you go along. Is that the way this really is?
That's how great masterminds work.
And
Yeah.
Zolfan,
Really?
Zolfan would like go lean in close to John Tor and like with his scar just like prominent. That's called life.
Yeah.
Oh man, why can't I just find some good-looking woman and who has a brewery and I settle down and brew? Man, that's all I want out of life. Not running around. Oh well, that's right. I'm not getting paid in grill anymore. The food's better at least, but running around getting paid in food for this craziness.
So you guys get some rope. Is everybody going to do recon? Or are you going to just break off at this point?
Should we have everybody going? I mean, because or do we just want to just stick with the
So
plan?
you all can go and like do a little bit of recon and then break off, or you can have a couple of the people break off to do the rope thing and and then meet back up. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mentor's going to follow whoever tells him to follow. He's not exactly a take charge sort of guy.
Getting our escape setup's probably a good idea, done sooner than later, right?
Yeah, let's split up. Want to maintain our small numbers as much as possible.
I get a mallet and some stakes to go along with the.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So you get to the drift that this merchant is probably not supposed to be selling you this stuff today, but he does it anyway.
Right.
Oh, it's a holy day. Yeah.
Right. Day of rest, more money. Guess which wins.
He's a true capitalist.
So
Truly.
I would say that Basil Wilberforce and Zofan would break off and begin to head to where the waterfall is, because there's probably there's a sign on the road leading to Waterfall Estate. So that leaves Tamul, John Tor, Clintock, and Basil Bessex headed towards the lecture hall. So as you start to get closer to the lecture hall, you see that there are signs, flyers that have been put up. The flyers say, "Let the real truth be heard." It says Solamor and special guest, in parentheses, heretic, to speak tonight. The truth.
Love it.
And it says at sundown, and it's they're plastered everywhere. You can see it looks like one of the students. He's got the glue, and he's just like putting them up. He's got a whole bag full of these flyers. Yeah, and you come up to the lecture hall, and there's you can hear the waterfall in the distance, and the water is moving, and it's kind of swampy, and there's the rocks, and it's kind of a ghost town. There's like nobody out here. There's one person that is sitting on a rock, like reading a book, and that's about it. Other than the guy putting up the posters, the flyers.
At some point, like, because Basil's with this group, and at some point also wanted to go check out volunteer to go check out the admin building.
Right.
Where we exactly are on the map right now.
It's a lecture hall. Doors are closed. Inside they said there's some sort of lecture today about zoning laws. So that's what's on the agenda today. The history of zoning laws in the admin district in the last 30 years, presented by blah, blah, blah. And you'd
But
have to
there's a-
walk down that open walkway all the way to where the purple is and go through those doors. That's where.
Yeah. Basil turns to Basil. You are going to continue to walk around, right? To take a deeper study of the area.
I don't know if I don't think
I
Basil's
was
there.
gonna
He's with
say,
Zofan.
Oh shoot, yeah.
It's understandable because Basil Bessick is concussed, so he thinks he's there, but he's not.
I was getting confused for a second. I was like, did I just hear him right?
Blame
Basil
it on
says
the
the Basil.
character, not the blame it on the character, not the player. Yeah, there you go.
So Tamul, he's going to speak up and say, like, Clintock, maybe you should, maybe you and Basil should go over there and check that area. Me and John Tor, we're going to go to head in and see if there are any guards.
Oh.
And get a feel
I don't
for
know.
stuff.
I wonder. Over with you.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, basically, as soon as John Tor and Tamul split off, John Tor will say, "Oh man, I appreciate that. I know you're a newbie. I know you're new like I am. I feel more comfortable with you than the rest of those crazy guys."
You didn't drink too much yesterday, did you?
No, I never drink too much.
Mhm. Let's just be friendly
he
and
he doesn't laugh, but it's obvious that he's lying. It's like a reflexive. It's a reflexive. No, of course I wasn't drunk. No, but seriously, I don't have a hangover. It's just, I mean, it's ever since we joined those guys. You've seen it. The whole thing is crazy. It's like jumping from emergency to emergency.
it's definitely something.
you
But
got-
this Karn that they've told us about seems to be more level-headed. I'd like to speak to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. And they seem like they look up to him because we're doing all this to sort of rescue him. So maybe he's the mastermind. Sorry, player can't keep a straight face when he says. God Tor doesn't know, but player can't keep a straight face when he says that.
What
Gonna
do
go
we
in the
do?
lecture hall?
Yeah, the lecture hall. Mhm.
Okay, yeah, you open the doors and you walk in, and it's a huge lecture hall with the stairs. I mean the seating that goes up, and everything is dead quiet because the lecturer looks up and sees like you two come in, like, oh, more people. And as you look around, there are two people in here listening to him. One is laying down, probably asleep, and the other one kind of turns. He's like, "But don't worry, I can start over if you're late. I'm only 30 minutes in."
Wow. So this is the Zone of Laws guy.
Yeah, he's like,
Tamul's just gonna just like slightly wave and just kind of just or nod and just continue on. And we're not here. We're not here for the lecture. We're
oh,
just passing through.
okay. Crestfallen. He begins where he left off.
Oh,
Right.
darn. Poor guy.
All right.
His
No
attendance
guards
number's
in
almost
lecture
doubled.
hall.
You're inside, you look around, then you look and you notice in the around, it's obviously a big oval, big circle. Or in the corner, not really. On the side is a soldier standing there. He is not an ape. It looks like a human soldier. With a spear that he's like, looks like he's using to hold himself up, and he kind of nods him, so he kind of comes awake and kind of looks over at you guys, and then just kind of, and then you see him, he reaches into his ear and he pulls out what looks like cotton or something out of his ear, and he kind of like listens for a little bit.
I got
He
so
stuffs
worried.
it back in.
I swear, I was gonna say, Peter, please say he doesn't have freaking AirPods, please.
No.
You would have. I was like, "What? We can buy AirPods here. It's awesome." No,
John Tor actually knows what to do in this situation. He will go over to the guard, and unless the guy like immediately gets hostile. You know, John Tor's like, I feel you, man. Guard duty is so boring, and I bet this guy puts you to sleep. Here, you know, you deserve a break, and John Tor will give away one of his bottles of wine, and sort of look around and tuck it around the corner and say, "Oh man, that's terrible. I must have lost a bottle of wine. I wonder where it went to." Just straight in front of the guard, and then pat him on the shoulder and go, "Yeah,
Hey,
good idea on the cotton. I used to do corks when my relatives lectured me, but they figured it out. It's too obvious."
hey, appreciate it. Thanks, buddy. Nobody looks out for me.
I'm trying to get the guard drunk and distracted.
Okay, yeah, he appreciates that. You know, some drinking, some alcohol would probably help him out. Considering, get the impression he is not particularly happy with this duty at this time.
Does he have like a ring of keys on him or anything that we can see?
No,
Okay.
he's got a spear and he's got a shield on his back. He's wearing leather armor.
Any other like points of obvious egress from this room, other than the
No,
one we
the
came out of,
only
of course?
the only one that is obvious is the two doors you came out of.
Oh, and I'll wander back to the guard. Oh, I forgot. Oh, what do they got you doing? I mean, it's a lecture hall. Why do I need a guard around here anyway?
Oh, well, you know, I just show up where I'm told.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. God, sounds like my family again. They tried to keep telling me to do things I didn't want to do. And oh, I guess I miss them a bit now. And he'll wander on.
So, John Tor, think we may need to go to another area. I don't
Yeah,
see
sure.
anything
Just
here.
lead on, dude.
And so I guess like exit the lecture hall and then head into the main the purple part.
Okay, is that where Basil Bessex was headed?
Yeah, and like to go meet up with them. Yeah.
Okay. So Basil Bessex and Clintock. You head down again that open walkway. There's one person reading a book. You get up to the double doors. There's that, you know, like 7 flyers have been stuck here. And you open the door. You open the door, and the room is instantly familiar. It's the room that you came through. There is no portal. There's nothing here. There's a bunch of doors, but you do notice to the left-hand side where the doctor's office was, there are some workers standing around, and they've got like equipment, and they've got, you know, looks like they're doing some repair work for something that has happened to his office they are fixing. But other than that, it's kind of empty.
Are they ape or human?
No, they're human.
That ape that was at the front desk is no longer there.
Yeah, there is no desk. No, they're gone.
Are any of the doors open?
No.
So Basil will walk up, and so he in order to like hide his one larger arm, are these robes that we're wearing, are they sleeved?
It's up to you if they can be sleeved or not sleeved, or however you want to.
I was picturing that they would be sleeved so that we could put our hands in each other.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Kind of give like a priestly look if we so desire.
Gotcha. Okay.
Good afternoon, brothers.
You're going. I'm sorry. You're going up to the workers then.
To the workers, yeah.
Okay. Yep.
Good afternoon, brothers. Why are you working on this day of rest?
Order. Yeah. We just got to get the job done.
And they are driving you to such savagery?
I mean, we're getting paid. It's not like slave labor.
But it is a day of relaxation.
Rest and prayer. Yeah. I mean, we'll get to some service tonight if we. And looks at the other. Yeah, we should be done by then. Yeah, something tonight. Not a problem.
Where is everybody?
Where is everybody? I don't know. The students were all in here yipping and yapping. They got some kind of 4-day pass or something. They're out gallivanting, going wherever, except for that poor sap out there that's putting up flyers. I guess if they expect students to show up, there ain't gonna be a whole lot of them because they're all gone.
I was never a student at the university. Where does the 4-day pass? What avenues does it allow them to go in?
Wherever, I mean, wherever they can get to, you know, as long as you get back in time. They don't care.
It just means that you can leave the city.
Well, yeah, they don't have classes or work or studies or whatever, you know, book learning.
Well, brother, I want to remind you that we were sent here to bless the portal in its new home. None of you have heard where they've moved it, have you? They did not give us directions.
Is that what they're calling chamber pots these days? Portals or something? That's the only thing I know of. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the portal.
I gotta go bless this portal real quick.
That's a nice try.
And Clintock's stories are spoiled by stupidity of the guards. Never mind.
Oh, well, yes, those are a portal of sorts, my brother. Yes, one that hopefully things make egress from differently than their ingress.
Yeah. I heard the cabbage does a number on you. I'd avoid any cabbage.
Oh yes, I've given up the cabbage many years ago. Well, there are those days where I haven't been regular, so to speak, and then I have cabbage. Do you know where I could find the good doctor, the one that whose facility?
Oh yeah, well he's he's probably at services, I imagine. I don't know if he goes to all of them or.
No, where are they hosting him? Why you rebuild?
Oh, yeah, it's a good question. I think he's down at the infirmary. At least that's where he's been staying. But yeah, I hadn't seen him. I mean, he's like I said, he's at services today.
Oh yes. No need to bother. We'll find him.
We were just making sure that he was taking his compulsory day of rest.
Nothing good comes from a doctor who doesn't get his rest.
Right. Okay, well.
Basil will look towards Clintock, kind of giving like a look that says, anything else we should do here?
Clintock like walks away. He shakes his head and then like walks away, and then he reaches into his pocket and pulls out the magnetic key thing that he had used previously to open these things, and says, well, I don't know how much wandering you want to get about, but this will probably get us some places.
What's the magnetic key?
It's the thing that opens the doors that are like locked.
Oh, yes.
It's like they're locked from like a magnet that's like internal to the door, so it's not like a normal key lock.
Yeah, that's right.
It's fucking cool.
Very good. Gonna do like a quick glance around, like as you're passing by the front desk to see if there's anything left out.
Are there still signs for like the employment office or whatever?
Oh yeah. There's still the employment office, the compensation and employment office. Yes, there are still signs for that. Yes, obviously there are the archives and the doctor's office. There is the Empire Botanicals. The barracks is not labeled, but you know where the barracks are.
The dog knows where the berries are.
If you go clockwise where it says Empire Botanicals, that's the barracks. The next one after that's the finance minister's office, and then the one that's that long snaky like thing, that's the employment compensation office.
Is there any paper or anything anywhere? Anything to write with, like?
Sure, we'll say like in front of on the door of the you just want a paper, you don't care if there's something on it, right?
Yeah, I'm just gonna write a note.
Okay, yeah, on the employment compensation office there's just like a scratched note. It says will return, and it has a time. It's an old note that they put up on the door.
I'll write a note that says the Thunderous Fury plan to to steal a train.
Okay. Okay.
And then
Okay.
when we go to actually leave this place, I'm going to slide it underneath the door at the barracks, or just like set it at like the foot of the door,
Okay.
like, slide it underneath.
Very good.
And Basil would just look before we go to see if there's any sign of a crystal out or.
No.
I'll turn to Basil and say, I suspect they've moved the portal then. I don't think it's here.
That seems likely.
The only place that I could imagine it might still be is in the barracks, but I don't sincerely want to venture in there.
It would be better if we didn't. Guess we can head back then.
Yeah, this is a wash, but well, we at least know not to run this way.
So you guys head back out?
Yeah, and I will drop
Meet up.
the note on the way out.
Okay, yeah, you slide it right there and walk out, yeah. And you meet up with Tamul and John Tor.
Well, we didn't have any luck in the lecture hall. We didn't see any passages. Anything. Isn't he supposed to be helping?
Wasn't the guard actually guarding? Was the guard just standing there, or was he actually guarding a doorway
No, he was just
or a hall?
he seemed to be just standing guarding a wall.
Yeah, man, it looked like he was guarding a wall. I don't know why you would do that.
But now that you mention it, maybe he's actually guarding a secret door. And we missed it. God damn it.
Well,
Clintock just goes,
there's not much we could have done about it, but even if
well, if we end up going back there, we might need to check it then. What should we do?
Well, we didn't. They must have moved the portal. It was not in. There wasn't anything in the admin building. Seems we would either need to find another way to create a portal or take plan B.
Have we checked all of the like areas here, like the main areas? Okay, because you guys checked the main hall, right? I think, and then we checked the lecture hall. What else? Like, where in this like main hall that they checked? It's like, where are some other places we could check out?
We did not check the unemployment office.
Oh.
John Tor technically has arcane magic. The teleports are arcane, or portals are arcane magic. He will desperately rack his brain for any like hint or clue that would help them find a portal. He's not going to say that out loud. You just see him do this.
He's scratching his head.
This number a lot, like
Wisps of smoke over his head.
yeah.
Working overtime.
Yeah, he's got a 10 in and an 8 wisdom. So for a mage type, he's pretty much a failure, but he might survive because he has a good dex and con.
Just as a side note, we may also want to look into how to get to the train station and find out what the train schedule is.
oh, the train isn't happening. There'll be a lot of guards there.
Oh, yeah. But that wasn't my thought. I don't think we'll be going on the train, but you said to leave false trail.
I left a note, like you're supposed to.
Yeah.
All right. Basil Wilberforce and Basil Bessex, right? Head
Zofan.
down to and Zofan head down to the waterfall, right?
Yep.
So you guys take the main road, then kind of cut off behind the employment compensation office, kind of in a marshy area. You can see where other people have walked down here, and you see the water, and you see the waterfall, and it looks really nice. And
Probably get a nice vista out too over the Accursed residence and
yep.
over to the ocean.
You come up on two people talking. One's in like chainmail. The other is just kind of in leather armor, and they're just sitting. They're kind of standing there by the waterfall, just kind of conversing. They see you guys come up.
Do they look like soldiers?
No, they strike you as probably adventurer types like yourself.
What you guys doing out here?
And the one who you noticed, one of them looks at you and missing some teeth. Oh, just taking in the view. It's like really nice.
It's pretty awesome up here. You can see the Emperor's residence from here.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Same here.
You guys don't. What are you doing? You guys don't look like students.
Well, neither do you.
Yeah, fair enough. We're just
here to check out the place.
Yeah, you heard about this this special announcement or whatever the hell they're doing? Let's let the truth be heard.
I hadn't heard a thing about it.
Yeah, but yeah.
What are they saying?
Some philosopher is going to show up and talk about recant everything. Give his praises to the Ape Empire. So, and then somebody else is supposed to speak as well.
All hail the Emperor.
The one with some missing teeth, blast, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I mean, all hail the Emperor's gold. Am I right?
Yeah, there's probably a lot of gold in there.
Tell you what, it's tempting, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Sometimes I sit up here and I dream about all the gold that's in there and what I could do with it.
Yeah, you know what? I think you got a point there. You retire, easy living, I would say.
It's not like they'd miss it.
No, they wouldn't miss it. Hell no.
It would just be a pittance, a small dent in their overall fortune.
Yep.
Well, it would take a team of crackpot adventurers to break into that. I don't know where you.
Yeah.
I don't know where you'd find such a team. At least, not within the city walls.
Oh no, it wouldn't be that hard. If you just swim up on the coast side, if you take a barge or a boat or anything like that and slip off out of sight, swim up there, you crawl up at nighttime, you just have to avoid some guards. You could get right into the Emperor's residence. As long as you can climb okay.
That's a good point.
The one missing teeth says, yeah, I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got levels in thief.
You might even be able to do it just a team of two.
Yeah, only if I was staying longer.
Where are you heading to?
Oh, we got other places to be, but we'll definitely be at that meeting. I really want to see what goes down. I want to see if this person actually says what they're going to say.
We might have to go there too. It sounds interesting.
Yeah, and then the one guy in the chainmail was like, "Yeah, we might have something for him." And the other one looks at him and goes, "Just shut up." And they're like, "Let's go." And they start to walk off.
Oh. we may want to warn the philosopher guy.
Nah, fuck him.
Yeah. Well, he is going to come up there and denounce their fake flag.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, okay, it's the fake who sounds like he would be in trouble, but if the philosopher, sticks to his guns, that should be okay.
He should be
So
fine.
the fake could be in trouble, but
Okay, so is there anything else you guys are going to do other than what we've just done? Oh, you're supposed to set up the ropes. Are you going to set up ropes?
Yes. Are there?
Okay.
Does it look like there are places where we could affix ropes?
Yeah.
And
I
I
brought
think
some stakes and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah. I would assume that you would kind of like roll them up and hide them so they're not obvious, like hanging down the side.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Like wrap it around a tree and stake it into the tree and then
Right.
roll it up and hide it under leaves.
Yeah, just let everybody know where it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I like I said, I think we would put like 3 in one spot and then, maybe 100, 150 feet away, something like that, distance away, put 2 more in case somebody comes across one and figures it out. We've got a backup plan.
Yeah, so you guys can successfully do that. If there's anything else, you guys would meet back up, yes?
We should have egged that guy on to teach them a lesson, but okay.
Um,
I'm too slow thinking.
for Felix and Orion, what you would notice as they are gone around the time of, you would say the sun is at its highest when the second service is not Bertram, Martellus, or the ape. He's never said his name, but you've heard it. The ape leaves, presumably, to go to that service.
Sure.
Okay. He doesn't say anything one way or the other. He just has some leaves.
Yeah, he just, the spirits call, and he just kind of walks out. And Bertram is, of course, still there. And we can move forward to the evening to this event.
Now,
Yeah,
Orion has something else he wants to say now that Martellus is out of the picture. He'll go over to Bertram and say, funny thing about Captain Ox, he does give us missions, but he's really hands off about how he wants us to do them. He lets us do whatever, and basically, except for minor disciplinary matters, he doesn't blow up. So, I guess what I'm saying is, if we're getting out of this town, maybe you could tag along and have a bit of a different boss who's really hands off. Literally, and Orion puts his hand to his throat. Literally, hands off. Think about it, dude.
I will. Yeah, because the next time they won't just take an arm.
Oh. What?
Is Bertram down one arm?
Yeah, Bertram's
yeah.
been missing an arm.
But we didn't know how he lost his arm.
Yeah.
I think we were maybe assuming he lost it in some mission or something. No, he lost it because of disciplinary. Oh, that's
Bertram will tell you that he was set up to be executed, and Martellus got him out of it, and the condition was he lost his arm instead of his life.
Okay, so maybe not boss abuse, maybe plea bargain down, but whatever. But yeah, most times we do. Like I said, we choose most of our own missions. We do them the way we want, and heck, half the time recently, Ox has been way off the continent. And you've seen how we operate, dude. We're a bit random, but it's not like we do much infighting.
We make money.
On a side note, guys, if we ever get a ring of regeneration, can we all just kind of go back to Bertram and let him wear it for a week or two? I feel so bad for the guy.
Orion is trying to pull away the guy who has witnessed most of what we've done. If we can get him out of the hands of Martellus and the apes in general, it will be a positive all the way around.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Orion, you're doing this line of questioning. Give me a wisdom roll.
A wisdom roll.
Yeah, roll on your wisdom.
Roll under my wisdom. Wiz is 10. Okay. No high whiz here. I swear to you, if I get bored, I'm going to start stabbing myself with that mutation dart just to see what the hell happens. A 6, which is under my wisdom.
You've heard Bertram say this before about how he was, maybe you didn't, but he did mention this before about how he lost his arm. As he recounts this kind of offhand remark, you get the impression that the reason he got caught in the first place was because of Martellus.
Oh, so Martellus did set him up to lose, and then, wow, what an asshole boss.
He just described every boss in the world.
Well, there's asshole boss, and there's set you up to lose an arm. Yeah, a little bit of a difference there.
That is the end of session 58, Let the Truth Be Heard, Part 1. The session ran over 5 hours, so I decided to break it up into 2 parts. Following this interjection is a discussion that occurred during the break. It is in reference to session 51, Ape Empire Secrets. Thanks again for watching and listening. I was thinking, okay, let's see. I need to have this. There's a certain thing I need to do in OSC, like for my campaign world. I'll just have this woman who they run into. She'll just mention this camp that's something to do with the apes are doing, and it just whatever. And here we are.
You're kidding me.
No, it was not meant to be all this. No, it was like you will laugh or not or cry when I tell you what the intent of this camp was. And I'm like, yeah, I'll just throw it in there. I gotta have this thing. There's a problem, because when you build worlds and stuff, you're in your own head, but you're always like solving these imaginary problems. I'm like, I have this issue that's always been bugging me. Let me solve it. I know what I can do. I'll just throw it in there. It's kind of a side note. Well, that side note became how many sessions later?
So many.
And the side quest becomes the campaign.
Right. So
What?
this massive camp with illusions, strange things the apes are doing was intended as a side note. It got us sidetracked halfway across the damn empire, sacking the capital.